With nearly 24 places to eat on board, from table service dining to snack bars, one thing is definitely for certain: you will not be going hungry on a Virgin Voyages cruise. Hey travel friends, it's Helen with Nicely Travel, and I know when it comes to cruising, particularly if you're trying a new cruise line, one of the biggest question marks that you want to know about is the onboard dining. If you're considering Virgin and wanting to know a little bit more about the food and dining you'll experience on board, this is the video for you. We're going to get into a comprehensive breakdown of all the dining options on board, so let's go. First, I want to talk to you about the sit-down restaurants on Virgin Voyages. It's a fairly unique setup in comparison to many other mainstream cruise lines because there is no main dining room. Instead, you've got this series of different sit-down restaurants that offer experiences that are kind of on par with what you might find in a specialty restaurant aboard a mainstream cruise line. The best thing about this is that all of these restaurants are included in your cruise fare, so there's no extra fees to dine here. So let's get into what you'll find in terms of restaurants, starting with Razzle Dazzle. Now, Razzle Dazzle is a vegetarian-forward restaurant. Essentially, it means there's a lot of vegetarian options on the menu, but they still have some meat dishes. Razzle Dazzle is a great place to go when you and the people in your traveling party are all craving wildly different things because the menu is very eclectic. Razzle Dazzle is an all-day restaurant, so you can come here in the morning through early afternoon for brunch, which is amazing because on many other cruise lines, breakfast is not really available past, say, 10 or 10:30 a.m. And Virgin really understands that on a cruise vacation, you may want to sleep in and still get breakfast when you wake up at a later hour. Some of the things you might find on the menu include things like mushroom carpaccio, fried green tomatoes, a beet pierogi, fried chicken, lamb shank, avocado toast in the morning, a churro and ube ice cream dessert, and they even have some secret menu items. So definitely ask your server when you're here about what might be available from the secret menu. Moving on to our next restaurant, Pink Agave, Virgin's upscale Mexican restaurant inspired by the street food scene in Mexico City. This restaurant has a really cool entryway, and the food here is definitely a hit. I've heard from a lot of people that Pink Agave is their favorite restaurant on board Virgin Voyages. One crowd favorite appetizer is the Mexican-style street corn. So if you're gonna dine here, definitely order at least one order of the corn for the table. The shrimp dish here is also really popular and tasty. There's a nice bar scene, there's a nice cocktail and mezcal list. In my opinion, Pink Agave is definitely a must-try at least one time if you're sailing with Virgin Voyages. Next up, let's talk about The Wake. This is the steak and seafood restaurant with some really beautiful aft-facing views, and it's got a cool old-school steakhouse martini lunch kind of vibe. You'll find things like clam chowder, roasted artichoke, roasted bone marrow, pan-roasted king salmon, salt-crusted dorade, shrimp and grits, as well as a selection of different steaks that you can get from the grill, and then you choose your sauces and sides, much like at a steakhouse on land. Now, if you are a fan of Italian food, you definitely want to try Extra Virgin. This is a trattoria-style restaurant serving regionally inspired Italian food and lots of different fresh handmade pastas. There's also a really great selection of apps and antipasto items. One thing I recommend that you look out for and do not miss at Extra Virgin is their tableside affogato cart. Basically, you get to choose your flavor of gelato plus various sundae toppings. It is delicious. It is so fun to have this prepared fresh tableside and a great way to conclude a meal here at Extra Virgin. This next restaurant I'm really excited to talk about. test kitchen is a cooking lab and restaurant concept, and it's used during the day for cooking classes and demonstrations and things like that. And then in the evening, they offer multi-course tasting menus. If you're into trying interesting food concoctions like asparagus sorbet or pasta made out of fish, then you will really love dining at Test Kitchen. Their multi-course tasting menu comes in 2 variations, so if you are really into the concept, definitely try out both menus if you can. They have cocktail pairings with each of their tasting menus, or they also have mocktail pairings, and I tried the mocktail pairing and I really enjoyed the mocktails that they put together. Let's take a look at Gunbae, the final sit-down restaurant to talk about aboard Virgin Voyages. Gunbae is a Korean barbecue restaurant, so if you're into hands-on meat grilling, soju, drinking games, then this is a great spot to do that. It's got a very social vibe too, so if you're a smaller party, say 2 or 3 people, you'll probably be paired up with a few other people at a communal table. It's a really fun way to meet some fellow sailors. If you're craving that, definitely check out Gunbae. Now that we've covered all of the sit-down restaurants, let's get into the casual places. First, let's talk about the dock. This is a beautiful outdoor area at the very back of the ship facing the wake. Gorgeous views from here in all kinds of seating. The bites menu is pretty much all various skewers. There's like a polenta skewer and octopus and shrimp, chicken. All of these skewers are really delicious. Now, right inside from the dock, you'll find the dock house, which is sort of a continuation of the like Mediterranean vibe. They've got a couple additional menu items that you can order in here food-wise, and of course there's bar service as well. Tucked away in this same dockhouse area is the onboard juice bar. Whether you're lounging outside at the dock or inside at the dock house, you can order juices here as well. Now, I'll note here that pretty much all the food that I'm describing in this video is included with cruise fare on Virgin Voyages, meaning there's no extra fee, there's no additional gratuity expected or charged. However, when it comes to alcoholic beverages and premium beverages like the fresh pressed juices here, those are an extra cost. Another fun spot to grab a bite on Deck 7 is the Social Club. The Social Club has a snack bar that offers carnival-style eats. So think stuff like buttered popcorn, chicken wings, hot dogs, plus desserts like marshmallows and cake pops and super fun things like that. This is another great place to grab a snack if you're craving one in the afternoon or mid-morning. They also have a menu of boozy milkshakes. Another spot to look out for on Deck 7 is going to be Grounds Club, which is the coffee shop aboard Virgin Voyages. They exclusively pour Intelligentsia coffee, and personally, as someone who is a coffee drinker, I found the coffee here to be very good. In fact, probably the best I've had on any cruise line. Just regular drip coffee is of course included with your cruise fare, and then if you want to order a fancier coffee drink, this is the place to get that, and those fancy drinks will be an extra charge. However, note that the pastry case here at Grounds Club is totally included in your fare. I highly recommend trying at least a couple of the items offered here. I was never sorry about stopping by here and grabbing one of their pastries. Of course, any good cruise ship is going to have a pizza spot, and Virgin is no different. At the pizza place, they offer wood-fired fresh pizzas. One really nice thing about the pizza place is that it's open late, so it's definitely one of the spots to look out for if it's late night and you're craving a snack. The onboard ice cream shop, which is provocatively named Lick Me Till Ice Cream, offers a whimsical selection of made-from-scratch ice cream flavors that rotate daily, and they do have vegan options as well. Perched up above the pool on Virgin Voyages is Sun Club Cafe. On a lot of other ships, this might be like a burger joint, but on Virgin, it's a grain bowl joint, and I appreciate that they're switching it up a bit. Sun Club Cafe gets a thumbs up for me. On these ships, there is no traditional cruise buffet, and in its place you'll find a concept called the Galley. This place resembles a food court or food hall, and the food here is made to order, so it's not kind of sitting around stagnant. Here you'll find everything from burgers to ramen, tacos, burritos, sushi rolls, sandwiches, lots of different desserts. So whatever you're craving, chances are you'll find something that fits the bill here. The way the Galley works is it combines table service and grab and go. So if you're looking to just grab something and head out, they have convenient prepackaged items, things like sushi rolls, sandwiches, salads, things like that. In addition to the grab and go items, things like desserts, pastries, bread, custom salads or sandwiches, all of those you can order right at their display cases. For any of the other food offerings, you're gonna order from a server. The Galley is also home to the ship's 24-hour venue called Diner and Dash. They serve all-day breakfast plus a rotating selection of different diner favorites. Also in the Galley is where you'll find multiple hot and cold drink stations where you can stay hydrated any time of the day. One other nice touch about the Galley is that they have an outdoor patio that faces the very back of the ship, so you have some nice wake-facing views out there. Last but certainly not least, we have to talk about room service aboard Virgin Voyages. You can order room service through the Virgin Voyages app, offered 24 hours a day, or if you're in your cabin, you can order it through your in-room tablet. They have a really cool and efficient way of packaging up the room service food into these round containers that stack up into a zippered pouch, and that's how it's delivered to you. So there's no awkward tray, and the way the food is contained in these to-go plates keeps it warm and fresh. Room service does charge a delivery fee, I believe of $4.99 or $5.99, but they waive the delivery fee if your order contains any extra fee items, for instance, a beer, a specialty coffee drink, anything like that that you're paying extra for will then waive the delivery fee. That brings us to the end of our rundown of all the dining options on Virgin Voyages. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a comment below and tell me, of all the eateries that we profiled and showed here, which one are you most excited to try if you are new to Virgin Voyages? And if you've already sailed with Virgin Voyages, leave me a comment and tell me what your favorite restaurant was aboard. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and subscribe. Be sure to check out our full Valiant Lady ship tour and other Virgin Voyages cruise videos here or in the link in the description. And until next time, keep traveling nicely.